Last updated, 7:21 a.m. ET, Thursday, July 28, 2022. Opinions Home, Editor's Notebook. Susan Young, July 26, 2022, 11:03 a.m. ET. How we handled catching COVID on a cruise ship. Our view from isolation, COVID cruise ship balcony view. Our view from isolation. Photo courtesy of Susan Young. As a travel writer, it was painful to spend over a year in a COVID bubble with no travel plans on the horizon. As a result of vaccines and boosters, when the light finally appeared at the end of the year-long tunnel, I cautiously ventured out. Once the opportunity arose to fly cross-country and board a limited-capacity Norwegian Bliss itinerary, no one had to twist my arm. My husband and I were vaxxed, tested at the port the day of launch and masked up. The strict protocols worked and we returned healthily. Over the next 9 months, we boarded more cruises and participated in several destination press junkets with nary a sniffle. Trending now. Coronavirus outbreak. Coronaviruses are a large family of viruses that are common in many different species of animals, including camels, cattle, cats, and bats. American Airlines jets at Los Angeles International Airport. COVID outbreak hits workers at LAX. Travelers wearing masks in subway. Some U.S. cities consider return to mask mandates as COVID cases. Photo, Eiffel Tower at sunrise and airplane in the blue sky, photo via Annie Burkett, iStock, Getty Images Plus. The latest travel intel for the world's most popular Margaritaville at Sea Paradise. Margaritaville at Sea ends pre-embarkation COVID-19 test. Unfortunately, our luck ran out on an Alaskan itinerary out of Seattle, several weeks ago, once again on the Bliss. Unlike our previous experience, this time the ship was almost full. The protocols were still in place in terms of being vaccinated and tested, but the overall feeling of unease persisted as we were uncomfortable with the crowds. On the 5th day of our week-long itinerary, the symptoms started: sore throat, runny nose, a feeling of lethargy, and the realization that our lucky streak had ended. I had packed COVID testing kits, just in case this scenario came up, and my husband tested positive. My results, however, were negative. Our conscience told us we needed to report this, which we did, and a medical assistant, in full personal protective gear, was dispatched immediately to perform another test. A ship doctor confirmed what we feared and spelled out the rules and regulations for the last 2 days of the itinerary. Per CDC regulations, at the time, we were placed in 5-day isolation, consisting of the last 2 days on the ship and 3 more in a Seattle hotel. Offered a choice of 3 lodging options, all located near the airport, we chose the Hilton Garden Inn SeaTac and were told our expenses would be reimbursed fully by Norwegian Cruise Line. COVID-19 protocols aboard Norwegian Bliss cruise ship, COVID cruise. COVID-19 protocols aboard Norwegian Bliss. Photo courtesy of Susan Young. On the ship, we could not leave our cabin, but it was suggested we should try to keep our balcony door open as much as possible to air out the space. We were treated in a professional, dignified manner and given whatever we requested. Room service knew of our predicament and sent up 3 meals a day plus any extras we needed. As my symptoms worsened, I requested to be tested again, which resulted in yet another negative outcome. On the final day, we were escorted off the ship, after all the other passengers had disembarked, around 10:30 a.m. Leaving our cabin, we were led by an assistant clad in what looked like a hazmat suit and followed by 2 more, similarly clad staff, operating a disinfectant fogger. The hallway behind us was filled with an eerie mist. 4 more infected cruisers joined our caravan on the way to the elevators. Once off the ship, we were led to an industrial elevator taking us to what felt like an undisclosed location where 3 black vans would transport us to our hotel of choice. Our luggage, protectively wrapped in cellophane, was loaded up, As our group of 6 grew to a couple of dozen, we were whisked out of the port, looking like we were in a presidential motorcade. Our COVID limo. Our COVID limo. Photo by Susan Young. Chatting with others in the van, I found out I was not the only one with symptoms testing negative. An older man was given the antiviral Paxlovid, at a cost of $800. In our case, my husband was given 2 antibiotics, a decongestant and cough syrup, at no cost to us. Staff at the Hilton were expecting us and, after swiping our credit card, sent us on our way to a floor with other isolation guests. Our door was tagged, announcing no one was to enter the room. I have heard horror stories from some who have gone through the same experience with much poorer results. But, in our case, NCL's process was fine-tuned and we never felt like we were left out in the cold. Unlike our time in the ship's cabin, we were unable to open a window and could only look out at the beautiful, cool Seattle weather, wishing we could just go out for a walk. The hotel had an adjacent restaurant that offered room service for supper, but we were on our own for breakfast and lunch. We used a third-party delivery service for lunch that day but ordered groceries from a local market to get us through the rest of our stay. Having a refrigerator, microwave and coffee maker made it easy to eat somewhat healthy. Medicinal old-fashioned and cup of soup, cruise ship. Medicinal old-fashioned and cup of soup. Photo by Susan Young. Each day a local nurse would call to check up on us. My main concern was that I would test positive and another 5 days would be added to our isolation period. She calmed my fears by saying there would be no more testing. As long as we didn't have a fever and obvious symptoms, we would be allowed to fly home on the 5th day. By the end of our isolation timeline, we felt well enough to travel, masked up, and were shuttled to the airport where we flew home with no issues. At the beginning of this ordeal, we felt we were about to enter a nightmare but soon realized Norwegian had their act together, were concerned with our welfare and treated us as valued guests. Currently, we have had our hotel and food receipts approved for 100% reimbursement. The additional airfare involved in canceling and rescheduling will be reimbursed up to $300 per person, pending detailed receipts from Delta. Had we purchased travel insurance, NCL would have reimbursed the difference. Without it, they will reimburse 100% of lost travel funds. Vouchers or refunds are offered for the port days lost in isolation on the ship. We were disappointed we missed Ketchikan and Victoria, but the Alaskan experiences we enjoyed earlier in the week will be the memories that stick. As this latest COVID variant runs rampant throughout the world, we might wait a bit to venture out anytime soon. But the good travel bug will bite again and we'll be back. Sandals Duns River has been completely reimagined. Photo courtesy Sandals Resorts. Sandals Duns River is getting ready to welcome visitors. Sandals Resorts International announced that the completely reconceptualized and fully renovated property is now taking reservations for arrivals starting May 24, 2023. The property is returning to the Sandals Resorts portfolio after a top-to-bottom redo that includes first-of-its-kind suite designs, exclusive restaurant concepts and bars, and new ways to experience Jamaica's natural wonders. Related offers. West Bay Oceanfront Penthouse 1. Sandals Resorts West Bay Oceanfront Penthouse 1-bedroom butler suite. Beachfront Penthouse Club Level Suite. Sandals Resorts Beachfront Penthouse Club Level Suite with balcony tranquility soaking tub. South Seas Waterfall River Pool Jr. Sandals Resort South Seas Waterfall River Pool Jr. Suite with balcony tranquility soaking tub. All travel offers. Today is marked with a very special intention, as we accept reservations for Sandals Duns River in honor of our founder and my late father, Gordon Butch Stewart's birthday, just a small homage to him that we know will make him smile, said Adam Stewart, executive chairman of SRI. This was an extraordinary project and the last I worked on with him as his final masterpiece. He handpicked this location more than 3 decades ago for its white sand coastline, cool breeze, azure waters, and its close proximity to the destination's archetypical falls. It will not only serve to breathe new excitement into a corner of Jamaica loved and cherished by so many, but it will set a new standard of luxury for tourism right here in our backyard with a next-generation resort worthy of its nostalgic past. Cascading waters collected from the depths of Dunn's River Falls will greet guests when they arrive. Tufa Sky Pool Butler Suites. Tufa Sky Pool Butler Suites, photo courtesy Sandals Resorts. The new expanded suite concept will feature the addition of brand new Tufa Sky Pool Butler Suites. These will feature glass panels that span the length of the oceanfront balconies, giving an infinity effect with views of the Caribbean Sea. The Coyaba Swim Up Rendezvous Butler Suites with private pools are reimagined standalone villas with open-air rooftops, private soaking tubs, and views of the local flora and fauna. The Mammy Bay Beachfront Butler Suites will offer spacious balconies, gold fixtures, green accents, and views of the ocean. The resort will include 12 global gourmet restaurants with 10 new concepts. The International Fair will include a fusion restaurant with French and Jamaican cuisine, Asian fusion blending the flavors of Asia as well as a new Greek concept. Beloved staples will also be available, including Zuka and the Jerk Shack. Lapidus Lounge. Lapidus Lounge, photo courtesy Sandals Resorts. 9 bars will keep guests in high spirits. The hip and sophisticated Dunn's Rum Club will serve signature libations, and the Laughing Waters Beach Bar will offer bed-style seating and feature sparkling champagne cocktails in the sand. The Lapidus Lounge pays homage to renowned architect Morris Lapidus, who designed the resort when it was first built as the Arawak Hotel in the 1950s. Finally, Bloom Cafe will serve pour-over coffee, Nitro cold brew, and inspired island treats. Ocho Rios is the place where my father grew up, where he first learned to fish and felt the breeze blow along the west-facing beach, and where he first saw the pure joy of the island on the faces of visitors, said Stewart. Here along Jamaica's north coast, he witnessed a blossoming tourism industry and became aware of how to please and serve a new Caribbean customer. Every touch point at the new Sandals Dunn's River is designed to do that and more.